Let's go. I'm ready. From the coach's perspective, or the teacher's perspective, that's what I am. I coach CrossFit and I teach yoga. That's those are my gigs that I do. I've been teaching yoga for a long time. I've been coaching CrossFit for not a long time, but it's still teaching people what to do with their bodies. And yeah, so over the years, I have learned to recognize some of the time. Well, okay, I learned it in yoga, that just because I see potential in a practitioner or in an athlete doesn't necessarily mean that that person is interested in fulfilling on that potential. And as the coach or the teacher, I think sometimes we assume, at least if you have that sort of personality, like when I do things, I want to learn how to do them better, always better. And that's not to say that I'm trying at every single thing all the time. I'm trying at a lot of things, whether that's in the gym or in yoga or just in like nutrition or in relationships or in, we've talked about how much I try everything. And so that's why sometimes there are skills that I don't have in areas of my life because I am so exhausted from trying at everything else. But that's like being, a little bit of that is being lazy, right? But depression makes you feel lazy. Anxiety takes up a lot of, just like a lot of energy. Yeah. Caffeine, this was explained to me this way, and it wasn't explained to me, I read it in a book, so it's not like he's personally said it to me, but Brendan Brazer's book, Thrive, The Journey to blah, 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 it's a fucking 12-word title, which is stupid. The Guide to Optimal Performance in Sports and Life, something like that. That book got me to be a whole food, plant-based vegan for like a year and a half. I didn't drink alcohol. I had no caffeine. I was like cleaned up. Oh man. If I had stayed on that path. Anyway. Okay. Whatever. Here we are. What are we talking about? Potential versus reality. Word up. How did I get to Brendan Brazier? Thrive. Oh, caffeine. There we go. That's what it is. So how it was written in the book about why caffeine is not great is that you only have a certain amount of energy that is at your disposal. And when you take caffeine, when you consume caffeine, you're just taking the energy that you were going to use like this afternoon and you're just piling it on top of the energy for this morning. So then when you get to the afternoon, then there is no more. So if you drink more caffeine, you're just borrowing. And then you get too far ahead of yourself. Just like any other drug, it's like not enough, give me, and then you just... I'm using a lot of caffeine lately. I feel like I need it. But, I could get used to it without. We're very adaptable. We've discussed this before. I am very adaptable, except for the things that I can't seem to adapt to yet. Always leave it, in a hopeful way. Okay. Potential versus reality. So my ego. So ego isn't like, I think egotistical. We think somebody who's overconfident, full of themselves. Egotistical and the ego don't mean the same thing. Your ego is like the part of you that, I don't know, how does everybody else say it? It's like where your feelings are and shit. I don't know, what's your ego? We'll talk about it at a different time because I can't seem to come up with a good word. Ego? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I feel like I've changed the definition of what it is and come to understand it in the way that it really is for such a long time that I forget that I need to. Oh, you son of a bitch, Jessica, you tie that in a bow. Okay, because I've been doing it for such a long time that I forget that not everybody knows what I'm talking about, which is the exact topic I wanted to cover this evening. Potential versus reality. So here's the thing, as a fitness professional, and You can certainly take out my job title and put in your job title, because whatever that I'm experiencing, you probably are also experiencing at least a part of it, regardless of your field. Or maybe it's not with your work, it's with relationships or something else. But as the teacher or the coach, you have to come to terms with, we have to teach the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like someone might come in the door and you teach them a thing and they get it. And then you teach them another thing and they get that and that and that and that and that and that. And then they just stay with you and they keep progressing forever and ever. Amen. That one athlete always gets better because you're teaching them. The amount of times that that's going to become true is very small. You don't get to keep people forever. But if you're still doing the same career, the same job, you're going to have to teach new people all the time. And if that's not your deal, well, I don't know, I guess you should go into like private teaching. But if you are a group fitness instructor, the hope is that you will always have new people. And they don't fucking know what you're talking about. So you're going to have to explain yourself. But here's where we get tripped up, the ego. When we wrap our ego into the role as teacher, then that person that you are becomes more invested in the athlete or practitioner or person that they're teaching, their student. If you are more invested in them than they are in their progress, we then turn around and take it personally, like, oh, I didn't do a good enough job because so-and-so's form looks like shit. Or like, how many years, there's this one, this one lady who's been coming for like so long, and she doesn't really come anymore, but I mean, it doesn't matter. She could go 6 days a week or once a year. Her form was just fucking terrible. And I thought she had like something wrong with her body that she couldn't move her body that way. But then I saw her doing something else. I was like, how the fuck can you do that if you can't do this thing that I'm telling you to do? My ego was wrapped up in, I must not be a very good teacher because there's fucking 35 other people in this room that have it, and this one does not have it. So we say, like in Baptist yoga, if you can teach one, like teach all through one. So if I can teach one into you, the rest of the group will get it. And that was certainly the case, especially in a Baptiste class. But yeah, it's different when I teach the other classes, because when I'm practicing, I'm not looking. And so I can't teach 2-1, but that's how I get to know people. And then I'll like, when I say something that I know that they'll get, there's a little joke in there for them. It's like, oh, right, John, Rob, anybody. I used to do it to Chris all the time. Women too. I just can't think of literally any right now for some reason. Where are we? Oh, okay. So we're always going to have new people. And just like in the rest of life, not everybody's going to jive with you. Or maybe they do jive with you, but they're just not into working as hard as you want them to. And so, can you untie your ego from their results and find joy in the privilege to get to have that sort of, it's an important and trusted relationship. I mean, I hold it very sacred. It is sacred to me. It's not like, just like a side gig. But my real job is this. This is my fucking job. It's not just my job, it's my purpose. I don't know why. I could pick that apart. I do that to everything. Sometimes I wish I was dumber. Do you ever wish that? Like you didn't know the things that you know? I feel like, they say ignorance is bliss, right? Okay, come back. And so if you hold it as sacred and recognize and get present to what you're doing as the teacher, as the coach, it won't be surprising when Susie Q comes in, okay, so here's what I see in, it's not just CrossFit, it's yoga too. People will like get a taste and they love it. and then they're about it for, I don't know, a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe even a year. But then eventually, like one thing happens and knocks them, boop, out of the gym. Oops, I went on vacation. Oops, my work schedule changed. Oops, any little eensy bit of my life changed. And so now I can't uphold this thing that I was doing that I was like so about. It's okay. It happens to everyone at some point. But the difference is there's some people who keep coming back, you know? Consistency is key, sure, but I feel like we preach that a lot, and we should, because yeah, if you want to make any kind of change in your body, in your practice, in your lifting, in your nutrition, in your health, and just in your life at all as a person, you're going to have to do whatever it is that you're doing like 3 times a week. That's just how it is. You need to be consistent if you want to see any results. And results don't have to be, like a different form of your body. You might look the same. They might feel different. Yeah, we get tied up with the ego and like run down with the same mundane. Yeah, what it is when you get bored, it's that you're being boring. I thought that was super harsh when Barron said that. I was like, yeah, no, you're right. You're right, because like some things are just entertaining, or we put like some work into it and there's a big return on investment. And then after a while, we just get fucking bored because we do the same thing. We stop getting curious about, learning something new or doing something new within that same like realm or field. You have to still be learning. You have to still connect back in with why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. Like CrossFit, I have to go and take class. Like lately it's been once a week. I don't like that. I would much rather twice a week, like Tuesday, Thursday, that's manageable. But also when I do work out by myself, I really like it when someone else is just even in the room. I'm a real, I don't know, this is gonna sound stupid, I feel like. I'm very affected by the vibe. If it's a good vibe, then like, okay, let's go. If it's a weird vibe, it's like, what the fuck do I gotta try? And if you're a gym goer, or a yoga studio goer, or a whatever the fuck else you do, maybe it's like, it's like the vibe in Price Chopper versus the vibe in Hannaford. It's fucking different. Anyway. If you want to teach forever, you're going to have to keep teaching beginners, and you're going to have to keep teaching people who don't care about the shit as much as you do. You're going to have to keep teaching people who have not made the thing that you are so passionate about and given your life to. It's not their life. Their life is like what the fuck ever else they do. And that's great. This is not an elite sport. CrossFit, yoga. It's not elite. Fucking anybody can do it. Anybody. Because all of it, and here's like the theme of the 2 things that I do, it's all scalable. Like they're all like highly skilled and technical things, very powerful and demanding practices, CrossFit and yoga. But each of them is scalable to any level. Any level. Because you just break down whatever the stimulus is in the body. Like, what are we reaching for? What are we looking for? What sensation? What kind of whatever? We'll just find it. We can find it and get down to the root of things. By being fluid and curious. Not just like, well, this is what it says on the card. That's what you have to do. If you can't do that, then, I don't know, sit it out. That's why you shouldn't need to know what the workout is ahead of time. I mean, I think it would be beneficial to know like ahead of time, let's say a week ahead of time, for the purposes of accessory training. If you know you're going to have a super, shoulder heavy day on Wednesday coming up in the workout, well, maybe you should not, work on shoulders that morning, In that sense, it's helpful. But if you're not doing accessory work, you should be prepared every day for anything. Like, you got to be prepared. You just have to be prepared. That we were taught that. They used to teach you that in Baptiste training. So in level 1, I did it in Hawaii. It's the one only time that I've been there so far. I'd like to go back. Oh, that's in the United States. It's very fucking far. I'm sure it's super expensive right now. I really want to go away, and I feel like it's not going to happen, and I'm super bummed about it. Level 1. They didn't tell you shit. It wasn't like, so we're gonna have practice, we're gonna meditate in the morning, and then we're gonna practice, and then you're gonna have a snack, and then we're gonna be in chairs for 2 hours, and then you're gonna go to lunch, and then we'll come back and we'll do practice teaching. Like, they didn't fucking tell you what was going to happen next. It was be prepared for anything. So you have to bring all your shit. Your mat, block, strap, towels, water, journal, pen. So people bring like a whole fucking backpack. Like, be fucking prepared. So you can stay in it, in the bubble of knowledge, right? So in CrossFit, you should be prepared all the time. Like the back of my car it's all fitness, because you never know. Am I gonna need to run? Maybe I need a pair of lifters. I haven't worn lifters in like 3 years. At least 3 years. They're just hanging out back there. I don't know, maybe someday I'll need them. What else we got? Extra socks, extra blender bottle. Ibuprofen all the time. Gotta make sure you got that. And then I have like different sweatshirts, emergency outfit, cryo outfit, just like all fitness shit. I have my weight vest in there, and I'm not kidding you, 3 Lululemon mats that regularly get used. I got a lot of equipment because, yeah, as I stated prior, I'm not sure if you're aware. That's what I do for a living. Who'd have thought, man? Anyway. Yeah, fucking be prepared. So you don't need to know what the workout is ahead of time, because you're already going to have your jump rope with you. You're going to have, your grips and your tape, and get a fucking bag. Get a gym bag. Don't pack a gym bag every day. Just keep it packed. Like, like when when you have a kid and you're supposed to pack your hospital bags, you never know. Like, be fucking prepared. Successful people are fucking prepared, or you know how to figure shit out once you get there. I feel like we're getting so soft in some senses. Yes, we do need to have more compassion for each other and the things that we are experiencing. I feel like with the rise in mental health awareness and like all of the other awarenesses, all the awareness, like become aware. It's made us very careful. I'm talking about two different things. That's like very careful in speech. And so then, it makes us very careful in speech, and so then we don't want to call people out about anything. But like, some of y'all are just fucking lazy. I'm fucking lazy sometimes. And, that's okay. If that's how you are going to live your life, that's okay. But if you want something to be different, then, you have to do the work. We're here to make it fun. We're here to improve your life. Not everybody has that kind of job. Yeah, it's tough. It's a grind. It's a lot of, weird, like, mixed hours all over the place, and like different rules, and, it's a lot of running around. But I get to touch part of people's lives, like a really important part. Like, I'm a fucking doctor. But I will know you better than your doctor. Not your insides. Well, some of your insides. Like how you move and shit. I really love watching people's bodies. It's fucking fascinating. How it moves. It's just so amazing. Like, even when it's poor alignment, it's like, whoa. Look what's going on there. Look at that. Were you ever like that? Yeah, you were. Remember? You don't want somebody getting pissed at you when you don't remember the difference between like a clean and a jerk or a snatch or a fucking thruster. What's a thruster again? I've been doing this shit for 5 years, and it took me until like very recently that I could always remember what a cluster was. It's a clean from the floor, squat clean, and then you immediately thrust it overhead. Sometimes you forget terms, and then you start. When you move from athlete to coach, you're like, now you're over here, like, I'm telling you all the things. Come on, I got this. How come you don't got this? There's a different mindset when you're the athlete. There's a level of trust that you place in the coach that, like, they got this. And all you have to take up your brain capacity with is, like, gathering items or, like, thinking about. I think that's what happens is you hear the workout, or, like, when I'm explaining it, and you just get in your head about whatever first thing I said, and like you can't process the second part. I like it when we break it up and like we just talk about the one part, go do it, come back, talk about this, go do that. Anyway, I wrap this up. Match the level of investment that the student or athlete is putting forth, and you'll save yourself a lot of frustration. And not only that, match the level of enthusiasm and availability in the other people in your life too. Unless you can't. Sometimes the other person is much more enthusiastic, and you just can't. But you don't want them to go away. Just stay over there for a minute. I don't remember feeling like that. I have felt like that. I felt like that a lot. Get out of here. Oh, I'm just babbling now. Yeah, match the level of investment as the other person is putting forth towards you or towards it, whatever the thing is, the collective thing. Whether it's a student and teacher relationship or you're working on a project at work. Or you're, even just like energy with people or even with dogs, If like the dog's not giving you the energy that he wants you to stick your tongue in his mouth, maybe you shouldn't do it. Like Charlotte, she's always all up in the dog's face. And like, girl, stop it. So you gotta see Michael though, and then we're gonna go to bed. He's the sweetest baby boy in the world. Oh, now he's got his eyes open. So what are you looking at? I'm trying to sleep here. I'm sleeping, Mom. I went to daycare and played with my friends all day. So tired. God. Good night.